fuck, I feel so much better. I just finished stretching. It took me about half an hour because I did my P90X. My P90X list last time I did P90X, and I just had to readjust a couple things. I added a couple stretches at the end of the thing that they don't do throughout the video. I finally installed Google Keep on my pad. Fuck, this thing is amazing. As long as you don't install too many things on it, you're good to go. Man, every time I drink, like whenever I go to sleep at night, I go to fall asleep and then I get like a jolt or something that just boosts me right up type thing. It's fucking like scary, man. I can't keep doing this shit, man. So where was I? Backing up iPhone. And then kind of have bedhead. Whatever. Okay, so some tunes and come on. Did I turn? I remember minimizing the fucking computer. Yeah, there it is. The computer, the keyboard. That's off. Okay. My standing desk is a little too low still. That's okay. It has to be. I need to get 4 inches. That's okay. I could get like 4 more of these. These are about an inch thick. 4 more at work. I should almost just complete this whole fucking thing. We're throwing out all this cardboard at work. We gotta pay for it too. We put it in a compactor to recycle it, and it's not free. I'm gonna get a water bottle so they don't mind me taking the cardboard. got some oranges, tangerines actually, and banana. Start with the banana. This really shows how little I get done. I think this video is an hour and 10 minutes long or something like that. I got nothing done in an hour and 10 minutes, just floating around. Alright. Anywho. It's time to update you. Okay, I'm gonna do this.
Internal storage, I should see DCIM. Within DCIM, so you should have a folder right here, File Explorer. Go ahead and you should see your iPhone's name. It should be on the left.
Wow. Huh? Alright, let's see what you say here, buddy.
Side right here, as you can see, mine says ZVI's iPhone. So if I click on that, I'm going to go ahead and enter internal storage, and within internal storage I should see DCIM. Within DCIM there should be another folder called 100 Apple. I know there are a lot of folders, and within there should be all of my photos. Now if you have a lot of photos currently on your iPhone, you should, and within there's internal storage.
Click on it,
and within internal storage I should see DCIM.
So what's going on? So I just have a short video here I wanted to share with all of you. Some of my subscribers asked me how to fix the iPhone DCIM folder when it shows up. This folder is empty on a Windows computer. So if I go in here under this PC, I'm on a Windows 10 computer here, guys, and down here under devices and drives it says, Jamie's iPhone. If I click that, you can see it says this folder is empty. Now, I know that the iPhone here has media on it, so if I go into photos, you can see there's 4 in the camera roll, 4 pieces of media, 2 pictures, and 2 video files. So, I go in there and I know they're there, but I'm not able to see them on the Windows computer. So one thing that you guys can try that may help you with this is go into your iPhone settings, go to General, scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says Reset, and choose that. Choose Reset Location and Privacy at the bottom.
Reset location and privacy.
And just click Reset Settings, and then go back to your home screen. And now, if you take the iPhone and unplug it, put the iPhone back in, you should get something on the screen here that says Trust this computer, and you want to go ahead and select Trust.
I already did that.
And then underneath
that's weird.
Box here, you just want to click here. It says Continue. And right now, what you need to do after you choose is unplug your device again and plug your device back in.
Fuck.
And then what you want to do is start over. Just go into your computer, go to the iPhone. There is the internal storage showing up, and there is the DCI storage. And there are my 2 pictures and 2 video files. So maybe that will help some of you guys out. If not, please take a look at the description below. I'll have links in there to help you guys out with other things. Please leave.
Make sure that your computer, you guys. Come on, baby. I've got like 1,200 of them. How many images in camera roll? 2,000? Holy shit. Albums? My albums? Wow. Okay, they changed this up too. Camera roll 9. They're all being imported. Okay. Walnuts are really dry, I find. They go well with they go well, they go good. They go good with oranges.
Within DCIM, there should be another folder called 100 Apple. I know there are a lot of folders, and within there should be all of my photos. Now, if you have a lot of photos currently on your iPhone, you should have quite a few of these folders. So you should have 100 Apple, 101 Apple, 102 Apple, and those are going to be all of your photos just split up into a bunch of different folders since you do have a lot of photos. I currently don't have a lot of photos on this iPhone, so it's all stacked up into one folder. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create a new folder on your desktop in order to transfer the photos so that everything is organized. So go ahead, right click anywhere on your desktop, hover over new, then hover over folder, and then click on folder, and name that to whatever you want. So I'm going to, for the sake of this video, name it iPhone Pics. So once you have that, go ahead and make sure it's over there where you can see it.
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to fix whenever I was doing my stretch, the fucking screen would always turn off. I'd have to poke the screen every once in a while. My phone's looking good. I was gonna call Taos tomorrow, but I'm gonna give it a week to make sure it's all running well. I'm gonna delete a lot of the useless pictures. Yeah. Now, what can I do while I'm eating? Because it's hard to type. I could do my session review right now. Took some chicken out and thought. So in about like 40 minutes, I'm gonna have to go and put it in the oven. Stick it in the oven for 20 minutes or so. All hands. You see all the mistakes I've done. Display. I'm assuming. Display sleep after 5 minutes. After 30 minutes, I guess. That's the longest I could take. There's no off. font size will be huge. Oh yeah, that's much better. I got a couple books on here too. I got Invent It, Sell It, and Bank It by Lori Grainer. Sorry. I got a list of like a dozen inventions, innovations. "30-Day Sobriety Solution," "Alcohol Lied to Me," "Stop Drinking Now" by Alan Carr. It's called The Easy Way. Oh, I think that's it. So, I don't think I need to eat all these almonds. Fuck. I'm gonna save all those pictures to my passport, to my external hard drive. Should take a while. Calculating time required. Calculating. Still gotta make my green smoothie and eat my chicken and salad, so that's good. That should hold me up until 7 and go to bed early. No, I'm not gonna go to bed early. I'm gonna go. I might just play like 3 hours of poker today, and take a bath, Epsom salt bath. Go to bed early-ish. I'm sleeping in for the next week or so. My problem is getting to sleep and staying asleep, but as soon as in the morning, it's easy to sleep in. So I might as well sleep then. And by taking naps during the weekend, I'm practicing going to sleep. So I think I'll get better at falling asleep as I do that. Still calculating. So let's see my biggest mistakes. This is gonna be silly. Request source is the requested source is in use. Oh. It's already importing. Wow, that sucks. Alright, so I think that's okay. Might be a little loose. Versus a hijackering. Oh. Hijack is 6s plus. No, 5s plus. Ace 10 off, King 10 off, Queen Jack off. 9-8 suited. 9x suited plus. Hijack is an all aces. All suited aces, I mean. So I don't dominate anything except for queen jack off. Jack 10 suited. Queen jack suited. Maybe a 3-bet. I think it's at these limits though. I think it's okay. King 10 off is definitely out of question. Is queen jack better here? I don't think so. It's connected. A little more connected, but I can check that back. I like a check back, especially with he's tight so far. Check it back. And you check the flop, we check the turn back and bet the river. Cold calling at a small blind's kind of should have a tighter range. What are you doing, you doofus? There's 4 7s, king 7 suited, king 4 suited, king queen, maybe even queens, slow played kings, aces, slow played aces. This is king 7, 7s. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking here. This shit should just be eliminated out of my game. I think the more I take care of myself outside of poker, with like sleep and stress-free mind, organized life type thing, I think the better I'm gonna play on the table. Actually, it's maddening and it's kind of like depressing, but it's actually motivating. I mean, I'm winning right now, and I'm still making these silly mistakes. I think I like going bet, check, bet. Bets. I have to see these situations as investments. Now that the money's in the pot, it's no longer mine. I made a profitable play. Now don't make unprofitable plays after the flop, chasing your losses type thing. You know? This is ace king jacks plus. Ace king queens plus maybe. I don't think he's folding jacks. I don't think he's folding. Only thing he's folding is ace king. I'm done eating. I got through 2 of them. I'll be back in a minute. I'll just throw this shit out and put the rest of these almonds away. So this week I gotta really pay attention. So I'm gonna do the art of learning. Boom, right on the sheet. Starting this week. Let's go with a black pen. Title, Art of Learning. What's his name? Josh Wait. Almost like skin, but skin. Okay, Waitzkin. Found. Critical success factors. You gotta make sure my black is not too rounded. So now this timestamp for this one, what did I talk about? What a snack. Bad hands. Art of learning. And photo imports. Alright, you win some, you lose some. This is all good. So the music has to be turned off for this. Okay, I gotta drag these. There was already a folder called Apple 100 Apple, I mean. There you go. So what is this? What is this? This is photos in here? Okay. So, just quickly. Minutes is my goal. Now put it up here so that you can see it. It'll remind me to stay on track and focus. So I just go here in photos maybe. Whatever, I'll figure it out after. Okay, posture and typing. The music I had to stop. This. Alright, so actually let's just start from here.
Josh Waitzkin.
Sorry.
The Art of Learning, an inner journey to optimal performance. You win some, you lose some. You've probably heard the phrase a million times, but even though there might be some truth to it, wouldn't it be better to not lose it all? This is exactly what the Art of Learning is all about. How to outperform your toughest competition and become a superior performer. With multiple chess championships and years of martial arts practice under his belt, the author is an ideal source for some great advice on how to improve your performance, including some useful techniques and methods.
1, 2.
Blink number 1. In order to win, you have to experience losing first. Sure, none of us like to lose. Whether it's a tennis match, the fight for a promotion, or a game of Monopoly, losing isn't something we look forward to. But should we look upon losing so negatively? The truth is, losing has its benefits. This is a lesson the author first learned when he was 10 years old, when he began to compete in adult chess tournaments. He started off losing matches, which was frustrating at first. But he then started reflecting on his performance. Why weren't his skills up to scratch? The author realized that he was losing matches because of a lack of concentration. In adult tournaments, matches were twice as long. At such a young age, he simply couldn't match the focus and concentration of his older opponents. Losing helped him realize that endurance was his main weakness, so he began to work to improve it. If you want to improve your performance, you need to seek out opponents that are better than you. By investing in loss, you can welcome the opportunity to learn. This is true no matter what your specialty or field. And it's even true for children too. These days, many parents and teachers believe that competition is unhealthy for children. But the opposite is true. Just the right amount of competition can equip children to cope with obstacles later in life. So, how much competition is the right amount? One way to approach it is by using short-term goals to nurture a long-term goal. If a child loses a sporting match or a competition in a hobby they care about, parents should first make sure to assure their child that it's okay if they feel sad or disappointed. Parents should also show the child how proud they are of her and help her identify ways to improve. From this, the child can develop the short-term goal of learning new skills and developing new strengths before the next competition. Blink number 2. Prepare to feel vulnerable during the learning process. Natural talent can only take you so far. If you want to be the best, you've got to be ready and willing to learn, which means facing your own vulnerability and mistakes. This can be a little daunting, but it is a natural part of the learning process. When we're in a learning phase, we often feel weak, exhausted, or hopeless. And this is something we can also experience physically. A boxer with a great right hand but a weak left hand will take plenty of punches and go through some tough rounds while learning to use his left side more skillfully. Although learning through trial, error, and slow improvement is tough, we should be careful not to doubt ourselves. This can quickly lead to a downward spiral in which we berate ourselves for every mistake, and the possibility of achieving our goals seems to shrink at every turn. Luckily, it's simple to avoid this vicious cycle. It all comes down to taking a step back each time you make a mistake. If something goes wrong in your training or practice, find your own personal trick to regain clarity of mind. You could take a few deep breaths, splash cold water on your face, or even sprint 50 yards. Whatever it is that works for you, it's vital to have this technique on hand so you can keep your positive energy flowing. Blink number 3. Stay on track with an incremental approach to learning. Out of all the motivated and talented people in the world, only a few really make it big. Why? Unfortunately, all too many people veer off their path to success after one mistake that scares them away.
Stick to an incremental. I wish I could save all these words. Oh shit, add to dictionary. No, it's gonna add to dictionary. I wish I had my own dictionary where I could review all these words. There's an app, I'm sure, but I want it built in like Google. There's Google Dictionary extension, but there's no fucking, like if I go like this, it takes the whole word, eh? If you double click it, it just takes the whole word.
This is part of an entity approach to learning, and it's one to avoid. When we see our intelligence, skill, or talent as a fixed entity, success or failure seems to be the result of how much of this entity you possess. This makes us far more likely to quit when faced with difficult challenges, as we believe that if we can't overcome them the first time, we simply don't have the ability to overcome them at all. In short, an entity approach to learning prevents you from doing any real learning at all. If you want to gain from the inevitable mistakes and shortcomings that you will experience in your training, you'll need to develop an incremental approach to learning. By taking the incremental approach, we recognize that we have the ability to grasp any concept or skill as long as we put in the necessary hard work. Unlike those employing an entity approach, people with an incremental approach are far more likely to rise to a challenge. The difference between these two learning approaches was revealed in a study where children were given easy math problems to solve. All of them solved the problems correctly and progressed to the next round, where they received much more difficult problems that they were unable to solve. Children with an incremental approach were excited about the challenge, while children with an entity approach reported feeling discouraged. In the final round, the children were presented with easy problems once again. Those with an incremental approach solved them easily. In contrast, the children with an entity approach, suffering from decreased self-esteem after the second round, were unable to complete problems they would have easily been able to solve beforehand. Blink number 4. Practice turn.
Incremental learning. Incremental. Okay. Incremental.
Turns learned techniques into intuitive responses. For most of us, the incredible speed and agility of a martial arts master seems thoroughly unattainable. But is it really? These masters have simply trained so much that they have reached the point of fighting intuitively. You too can get this good at any skill. But how?
True.
As the cliche goes, practice makes perfect. Any technical information, from patterns to strategies to techniques, can feel like natural instinctual intelligence if you practice and apply them enough. For example, every chess beginner learns that the pieces have numerical equivalents. A bishop, for instance, is worth 3 pawns. At first, players will count the equivalents in their heads, but this eventually stops once they manage to improve their skill level. What happens? Well, something that was once seen mathematically is now felt intuitively. And once certain patterns become intuitive to you, that's when the fun really begins. Skilled chess players are able to play with patterns, making small adjustments to confuse their opponents and gain advantages. One fundamental pattern or principle in chess is central control, whereby a player who dominates the middle of a chessboard has the strategic advantage. But if you're a chess star like Michael Adams, you can win even when all your pieces are along the sides of the board, having twisted the classic central control pattern to your advantage. The greatest benefit of training your intuition, however, is being able to free up your conscious mind. When you don't have to remind yourself of how certain patterns work, you can zoom in on different details. A superior martial artist can use his extra focus to look for the subtlest weaknesses in his opponent's position, or even monitor their blinking in order to attack at just the right second. Yes, these are things that the human mind really is capable of.
I should have made this sheet sideways like this so it's bigger. It's kind of crammed in, but that's okay. I'll do it at work Monday. Where's my Google Keep? Oh yeah, I'm using it over there, so I'm just gonna use this one. Where's work right here? Man, this list is starting to get long. This is good though. It keeps me from looking at useless videos on YouTube at work. I no longer go on IGN.com, PGA Tour, none of that shit. I don't need to read all those articles.
Blink number 5. Embrace disruptions as opportunities to cultivate resilience. Picture this. You're in a state of perfect concentration, and suddenly your phone rings, or your child comes to play with you, Or your partner has to ask you an important question about something. Would you get annoyed? When we react to disruptions with irritation, stress, or anger, it means we're in the hard zone. In these situations, we feel that the world should cooperate with us and our current state of mind. But the world simply doesn't work that way. We should be able to function even under less than ideal circumstances. How? By entering the soft zone. This means rolling with the punches and accepting whatever circumstances we face, no matter how frustrating they might be. This, in turn, allows us to cultivate resilience when disaster strikes. For example, the author once lost an important chess tournament because of a song that was constantly distracting him. It wasn't playing in the background, but it was stuck in his head. Even this was enough to shake the supreme concentration required to manage calculations during a match. Recognizing this as a problem, the author started playing music while practicing at home. But rather than trying to block them out, he learned to think within the rhythm of the songs instead. This boosted his concentration so much that he even started singing songs in his head on purpose during tournaments, just to keep his mental energy up. You can cultivate your mental resilience like the author by deliberately putting yourself into situations that challenge your concentration. If you're a writer, why not open a window and welcome the sound of your neighbors mowing their lawn as you work? By challenging your brain, you can only make it stronger. Blink number 6. Learn efficient recovery techniques to boost your performance.
Okay, what did I want to say? Creative ways to use them to your benefit. There was something else I wanted to write, but I forget. Did I really write efficient like that? Fuck. Okay, I'm just gonna shrink that. Oh yeah, there you go.
We all know that we perform at our best after a good night's sleep.
Let me see here. What the fuck? Yeah.
Despite this, it's often too tempting to sacrifice some shut-eye and study late into the night instead. Resist it. Insufficient rest leads to repetitive, inefficient, and imprecise thinking. Why?
Like this morning?
Because our mind is only able to stay focused on one thing for a limited time. After resting, our minds are better able to snap back into powerful concentration.
See, I'm way more
The
focused
more
after
able
doing
you
that.
are to clear your mind within a break, the better your performance will be upon returning. Superior performers can actually make full mental recoveries in short periods of time, as short as 1-minute breaks between chess match rounds. Psychologists at the Orlando Human Performance Institute, or HPI, discovered that training the ability to relax in short moments of inactivity is a decisive factor in progress toward becoming a leading performer. So, how can you practice your recoveries? Consider taking up cardiovascular interval training. This means performing a series of short, high-intensity workouts with regular rest distributed throughout. HPI discovered that there is a physical connection between cardiovascular interval training and the ability to quickly release stress and recover from mental exhaustion. You can even practice cardiovascular interval training on a stationary bike. First, ride with high resistance, which will rocket your heart rate. Then, slow down for a minute on low resistance, thus lowering your heart rate. Then sprint again until your heart rate is high, then slow down again, and repeat. The more you do it, the longer it'll take to raise your heart rate, and the quicker you'll be at lowering it. With intensive training, you'll have better endurance, helping you relax more effectively when you need it most. Blink number 7. Create a routine to get into the zone. Do you have problems getting into the zone? Do you find yourself easily distracted in important meetings or when faced with a deadline? These situations can be incredibly frustrating. Wouldn't it be great if there was a switch you could flick that instantly took you into peak performance mode? Good news, that's not as impossible as it sounds. By creating and practicing a routine, you can summon your best performance. Think of a moment, situation, or activity during which you experience complete and serene focus. Moments that make you feel like nothing else in the world exists. Suppose this moment for you is swimming. Keep this in mind as you create a 4 or 5 step routine to precede this activity. Let's say you eat a light snack, do a 15-minute breathing exercise or other meditation practice, stretch for 10 minutes, and listen to your favorite song. Then go swimming. If you repeat this routine every day, you create a powerful physiological connection between the routine and the performance you give afterward in the swimming pool. As this routine becomes completely natural to you, you can transplant it from swimming to work, practicing it before important meetings or crucial tasks. Finally, once you've got your routine down, you can condense it into a shorter time frame. Often, we don't have an hour before any important moment to go through our routine, but we can make our routines more flexible by altering the steps a little. You could exchange the light snack for a heavier breakfast to have more energy for longer, or shorten the meditation or stretching outside by a minute and listen to the song on your way to work. By slowly and gradually adjusting the routine, you can condense it to a few minutes. And with constant practice, the masters of this technique reach a state where only thinking about a part of the routine triggers their high performance state. Hey, thanks for listening to our Blinks to the Art of Learning by Josh Waitzkin.
Boom, baby.
The book's key insight is that anybody can achieve superior performance with the right mindset, perseverance, dedication, and strategy. Using performance psychology methods, you can learn to manage your ability to focus and relax, switching between them as needed. Got feedback?
So yeah, this is not done. I'm obviously going to listen to it one more time and just go through my notes and see if I want to add anything else, but that's a good overview of it. Okay, so this is label. I could stop my timer. It took me about 20 minutes. I'm going to use this timer right here for my task, so I stay focused on what I'm doing. Right? What was blink number 2, I believe, is little goals. 3. Incremental learning. So like seeing this one task to get done and then boom, going to the next. I gotta go check on my chicken. Let's see what labels I have. I got Life 101 and Blinkus. Alright, that's good. Good things. Went through books. Oh yeah. Every day I just write down like happy things. Why not? Let's see here. Still 35 minutes for my photos, so I could reset this timer. So I got all 7 here. Routine for the zone. See, so there's 7 critical success factors, so I'll be able to know them. Invest in losing. Invest in losing. 2, be vulnerable. 3, incremental learning. 4 is practice turns into intuition. 5 is soft zone, and find a creative way to be in the soft zone. 6 is recovery efficiently, or efficient recovery, and 7 is routine for the zone. Alright, so now I'm done that. Art of learning, print book out. I have to come up with an idea for that. Play poker, mental game work. Okay, I'm gonna read that chapter. Entitlements. Should I videotape myself reading? What's this little tab here? At 127. What is this? 3 to 5 reasons why you're motivated. Okay. Inspiration is like a sprint. Motivation is like a marathon. Setting goals. Don't tell others you feel accomplished. That's true. I'm not telling anyone about my fucking YouTube series. I'm gonna go like in depth for the first like 3 to 6 months, kind of really specific, and then I'm gonna ease off. Right? The most important part of like changing yourself is the first couple months. So if I could do it, show people, help people hopefully change. Entitlement, tilt, overconfidence, unstable confidence, losing fish, revenge, tilt. Oh, okay, so it's only like 4 pages. Okay, so I'm going to go check on my chicken real quick. And I'm actually going to end this video right here because I'm going to read this to myself. Huh? This is the right one, right? My channel. I didn't upload it to the wrong one, right? Oh, what was that one? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do that. It's the right one. The gray. Like stories of old. This guy's YouTube channel is so dope. I want to watch this at the. I'll listen to it at the lunch. Okay, so that's done. I'm gonna put this to review next to my bed for my peak experience sheet tonight. And tonight I'm gonna reread the chapter on entitlement. I'm gonna read it now and reread it before bed, maybe in the bath. And then I'm gonna just quickly go over the chapters, the 5 principles that I've already went through. I'm on chapter 8. The other 7, I guess, I'm just gonna quickly review. A day in the life of a surgeon. Okay. So, I gotta end this. Maybe fix my hair. I didn't shower at all yet today. I'm an animal, but I'm gonna take a bath tonight, so that's okay. Oops. Look at the string, eh? That's definitely not tuned to an E. Dude, I can learn that. It's just